I personally feel that Messi was really part of that one club. That structure was built around him.
Yeah.
Whereas Ronaldo has been that player where he had to go, adapt, which I think as normal people we'd all admire.
Yeah.
It's more relatable that way, right? Messi was just given everything in that way as a club.
That would be a very controversial statement as you were given everything.
Yeah. I mean, I even think the whole World Cup.
So our first guest, born in Karachi, grew up in Dubai. He did his bachelor's in design from American University Sharjah in I think 2017. And he's a crazy football fan, great FIFA player. He's a bit cocky in FIFA, but let that go.
Let that go.
Yeah. How was that for introduction?
That was good, man. Actually, thank you for having me on the Karak Chat podcast. And happy to be here.
Did I say all the correct points?
That was all the correct points. Actually got the university bit wrong. I graduated 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was.
Yeah, sorry, my co-host really gave me the wrong information.
I think we got the FIFA bit also wrong.
FIFA bit, yeah, I'm not that cocky, man. Like,
you're not? Oh, okay.
When I win, I'm pretty humble, so that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, Sama, tell us, AUS. Design. Why design?
So actually not design. I wanted to become an architect. That was the main goal, sort of. Growing up, even when I was young, I was into drawing and all that. Because when I moved to Dubai, seeing all those huge skyscrapers and all that, seeing the Burj Khalifa coming up, Trade Center, Emirates Towers, I was just captivated by it.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was, okay, I'm gonna grow up, become this amazing architect, start designing these buildings. I just devoted all my life towards sketching, drawing and all that, and got into university. And it was my freshman year, new into like all the courses, getting to know new people. And then turns out, architecture wasn't as easy or didn't align with what I thought it should be. So there were a few courses that I took, like drawing and all that, which I was really good at. But then there was other, you could say elementary courses or secondary courses, maths, physics or whatever, which I did really bad in. First year, I think my GPA was like 2.0.
Okay.
Which was really low.
Yeah.
And I think a month into the semester, I found out that the seats are just supposed to be 20 to get into the next year.
Okay.
Which was really shocking. And then, so the whole idea was that there are 2 semesters, I guess. Within those 2 semesters, you need to crack into the top 20. And
you got it.
The first semester, my GPA was 2. You had to get a GPA of at least 3 because everyone, the average was 3 and above. And then I realized,
shit for you,
this is really tough.
Was it always your first choice, like growing up, like architecture?
Architecture was my thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I wanted to become eventually.
But how was it your thing? Like, did you watch it in movies or you got an inspiration from other architects? How did this work?
Not really architects, just as I said, Dubai as a city.
Right.
Like, it was growing in terms of, like having this huge skyscraper coming up. And especially the Burj Khalifa. So that really captivated me and made me feel, okay, I need to do something like this. And growing up, as I told you, I was really good at drawing as well. So that really inspired me to sort of get into this.
So what pushed you to like, graphic designing, I'll go into this. It's
so
very different. It's not the same as architecture.
That's true, exactly, So I'll tell you. So anyways, first year went really bad. And then I couldn't make it, obviously. There was a friend of mine who actually, I'd like to mention this. So he got a really low GPA as well. The next semester, he had to get at least 3.7 to make it to the next year. He made it. So maybe I'll bring him on the podcast next time.
Sure. I'll have another guest.
Anyways, so I didn't make it next year. The option was either leave AUS or look for another major. So I looked at civil engineering, graphic design. There was a few other mass communication and stuff. So honestly, I wasn't inspired by any of those. But then I picked. There's a book that AUS gives us, which has a lot of these majors. So I came across design management, which was a mix of design and business combined into sort of one bundle, which seemed interesting because I was like, okay, this can diversify my opportunity in the future. Maybe I could go into business, maybe I could go into design. So I sort of took that course. It was pretty new, and actually, in fact, at that time when I started in 2011, UX design wasn't really a thing. But then they started introducing courses about design thinking, user experience within the final years, service design. So I think one of the projects was where you had to, I think, improve a service and then provide a solution for it. Like I think it was something about gym access and stuff within the university. So how can you make that booking process easier? So then we had to make like a booking website, booking app. That was the solution.
You had to make an actual app, or
like a prototype, basically. And I think that's where I initially got inspired by the whole idea of okay, this seems interesting. So started prototyping. I think I used to use Photoshop to make the UI. And prototyping, I forgot. InDesign, Adobe InDesign. You could do interactive links. So I would use that for the prototype. And I think, right after that, I was really fascinated by this whole world of digital design, UX design and all that. And I think from there on, me and another friend of mine, we started getting into this more. So even after university, we would just get on our laptops, go to the library and start designing websites, apps. No one asked us to design it, we just do it for our portfolio for fun.
So you said that you couldn't make it to the cutoff for architect, and then you had to choose UX UI as design as one of your main core subjects, right? What were the other subjects that were being offered at that time apart from UX UI?
So within
AUS.
In AUS, there was a lot of majors. So there was obviously business. So within the business school, there was a lot of majors such as marketing, international business, finance. Obviously, engineering was there as well. So civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, all those majors were there. Then there was a mass comm school, which was all about mass communication and stuff. Then our College of CAD, College of Architecture, Art and Design, had design management, interior design, architecture, urban planning. Did I mention design management?
Yes, you did mention. So these were design management.
These were the majors.
Urban planning. You could choose from these subjects basically.
There was other things as well. Theater, actually.
You could choose theater as well.
I could have gone to theater.
All right.
Okay, great actor.
I don't know. I'm trying over here. I'm trying to do my best. This is all an act, right?
That seems natural.
So if it was not if it was not architecture, you were mostly getting into
theater.
Thought that UX UI is.
Not theater, UX UI. UX UI was or design management initially, because as I said, I didn't know that UX UI would become something in the future, right? So I think it was just you could say a stroke of luck that I picked it, because I had no idea that within, let's say, by 2020 or whatever, UX would be so huge in Dubai. So
how's that working out for you now? That stroke of luck?
I don't know, man. It's working out good actually, because I have a lot of friends who were in architecture, and the scene here for architects isn't that great in terms of jobs. It's very hard, basically, because the abundance of jobs are not as much. I think there's a few companies here that are handling most of the projects, as far as what I've heard from my friends. And so the supply of jobs is pretty less, and UX, it's different. Every company, every any institution requires something digital, either social media, either a website, either an app. So I think in that case, it worked in my favor, and just happy.
So how did you kickstart your career? Was it freelancing? Was it getting a job, internship? What was that? What was your first proper experience?
So after I graduated, I didn't. There were 3 months where I was job searching, and yeah, I think I got a job I got an internship actually at a company called JLL. They're like a property advisor company or property asset management company. They're huge in the UK, and they offered me an internship, and yeah, I think started off as a graphic designer there. So basically, they would have a lot of these reports, or they would be called bid reports, which are basically proposals being sent to clients. So we made we used to use basically InDesign, Photoshop to make these reports all fancy with illustrations. It would have a lot of infographics, and yeah, basically that was how I started, just making these bid reports. And part of the job which was something funny I'd like to mention, is I'd have to go and deliver these reports. So some colleagues in my company call me a delivery man as well.
Okay.
Because I'd have to design the report. It would come, and they were like, "Hey, you look nice, dressed up and everything. Why don't you go deliver them?" So me and the driver, he'd take us, or sometimes it would be within the area. So the office was in Emar Square, and some of our clients were there itself. So I just walk and literally hand the report to the administration or whatever. But yeah, that was cool. So got to learn a lot.
Were you also giving teas and coffees?
I think that, nothing like that.
Because when I was an intern near one of the companies over here, multinational, it was expected for the interns to go and get teas for everyone.
No, they were delivery is good enough for now. Maybe yes, but I think that was good. So graphic design is what I was doing, and then there was a project that popped up within the company, which was to sort of redesign their. So JLL was going through a rebranding. And then part of that process was obviously to design the website. So that's where I got my sort of first real
proper project.
Proper project, you could say, where I got to work on a website and stuff. And that's actually how I sort of got into improving a little bit more. Project had a bit more responsibilities, so that sort of helped me maybe get better at UX design and develop my interest more. In fact, it was already developed, but on a professional level, I got more exposure towards it, and I was like, okay, graphic design is cool, but I need to transition into something else. Another thing is, before that as well, which I forgot to mention, was I did an internship actually in 2014. So that was with a company called Elephant Design Studio. They were based in Business Bay. They were a cool company as well. Part of our AUS internship program, we had to do a few months to get into sort of the whole design space and understand it at a professional level. So worked there for I think 2 or 3 months, and over there I didn't earn anything, just got obviously exposure and stuff towards it. But over there, I think I was given a website, which I wanted to mention actually. The project was to build, I think, some website for a client. They were into cyber security. And that was 2014, and there was a designer working on that project, and he left. I had to take over. And I remember that first day that I got the project, my boss was like, "Listen, this is a project, we got to deliver it. This is a Photoshop file. Just have a go through it, see the user journey and everything." And I opened the file, and literally for a day, I just spent looking at the file because I was lost. I had no idea what to do. Sweating, nervous the whole day, and I just kept looking. I was like, where to start? Whatever I click, things weren't clickable because it's in layers. Designers, you guys use Photoshop. There's a thing called layers. So each layer after layer, you had to click and see stuff. And I was like, how do I move things? If I want to move this button from the right to the left. So I was so nervous, and that was actually a good experience because challenged me. I got a bit angry as well. I was like, man, am I that bad? Like, I need to get better.
Yeah.
So I remember that internship also really helped me to sort of.
Were you able to deliver the website?
Yeah. So what happened was then my boss came.
Yeah.
She was sort of the design director there. So she actually was really nice. She came over, sat at my desk. We sort of explained me how to use Photoshop and stuff, and then slowly I started getting better at it. In the coming days, and then I think in 2 weeks or something, we delivered the project. But I just wanted to mention that first day, which was really hard. I think that was like one of the most challenging days of my whatever UX career, or day, in fact. Yeah.
Okay.
It was necessary.
Yeah, of course. That was like your career defining moment.
I guess you could say career defining moment where I sort of got, angry. It pushed me to get better, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You want to ask him something?
No, nothing. I don't want to ask him anything. I was just absorbed in the story. In the whole.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
I'm really great at storytelling. Like I think it is pretty nice. So.
And
I think theater would have suited you.
Huh?
Theater would have suited you.
I should have tried, man.
You should have tried it, man. Yeah. Looks and everything. Maybe.
Public speaking is.
Don't you think his looks would have complimented him in his theatre career?
I'm not looking at it now.
Maybe. Actually, another thing. So when I was young as well, I had no direction in terms of, I'm talking about school time.
Yeah.
So obviously when you're in school, you don't know what, I wanted to become an architect.
Yeah. But
it was sort of a dream. So then you kind of delve into many things, right? So there was a phase where I was like, okay, should I try modeling and stuff?
Yeah.
So it was a friend of mine, he was a photographer as well. So we did try that, I did try that. But yeah, I think that is also another space which it's really hard. It seems easy, these models or actors, they're just in front of a set. You think, oh man, anyone can do this, but it's actually not that easy. I've even tried taking part in a few short plays and things like that for university projects and stuff. It's not easy, and I realized acting and stuff isn't.
Since you mentioned about
when I was young,
school, right? Since you mentioned about school, how good student? How good were you with your studies in school? Or let me put it this way: you were first bencher, middle, or the last bencher.
I was a naughty boy, man. I was the backbencher.
You were a backbencher.
I was a backbencher because, our school it had few good students. 2 or 3 really smart students. The rest were all just
getting by.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting by. And I think but the thing was that once we started getting into 8th, 9th, 10th, then our parents were getting serious, and then even our teachers would put this idea in our head that.
What was your mission? You need to top the class, or just pass, or just get fair grades, be on the safe side.
Honestly,
what was your overall target? How did you pass school?
My target, I didn't have any target.
Right.
Okay, the target became more clear when I understood that I have to join university and everything.
Right, and to join this university, you need to have a certain level of grade.
I remember it was 2 A's.
Right.
Something like that, 2 A's, 3 B's, 1 C.
Right.
And I got exactly that.
Alright.
I got exactly that. And funny thing was, so people at school or my friends at school make fun of me because you'd either choose business or you'd either choose science.
Yeah.
And then that's the way you go. My subjects were physics, business, art, IT, environmental science.
Right.
I chose the easiest stuff, and math, obviously, math. And a few others, I think, which I'm forgetting, but these were the mix.
Yeah.
And nobody had taken that, that sort of direction.
Yeah. Right.
And people used to make fun of that, but I guess I was smart because took all the easy stuff, got the grades I needed, got into university.
But how long into, how many years of experience do you have right now?
In design?
In design. In your work?
7 years, man.
7 years. And because with this, I just wanted to prove one theory that no matter how good you are with your studies in school, if you have that expertise, you're going to fare well in your career, no matter what.
That's for sure.
No matter what.
Sticking to that childhood part of it, you said you had no direction. Like, how did your parents take it? Like, do you want to go design? Because obviously, coming from a Pakistani background, so I was like medical, engineer, maybe accounting. What was that at home like? Oh, like why this?
Yeah, I think so. Initially, as I said, it was architecture.
Yeah.
And I think surprisingly, my parents, my mom and dad, were very supportive of that idea. Because even architecture has that sort of, prestige to it, as you know, like
it's kind
my
of
son's going to be an architect.
Yeah,
it comes under engineering and all that. So my parents were fine with that initially. But then, once I didn't make it, that was a bit tough time for me. And because my parents were obviously then not disappointed, but obviously a little upset as well.
Yeah.
But I won't say that they made it difficult for me or put me under pressure. In fact, they were very supportive, and they sort of, told me that whatever route you go towards, you're gonna succeed in it. Just work hard, focus, all that stuff. So I think that's really key when you have parents that support you over like your education journey or whatever, because those things can really affect you if your parents are not supportive of you, or even if your friends are not supportive of you. You can probably go down a different lane. So I think that really helped me sort of work hard. And as I said, like it's that combined with luck, combined with right timing and all that. So when I graduated in 2016, design or UX design started growing. So that really sort of helped me, I guess, to excel in my journey. So it's not just one thing; it's a couple of things. But parents did support me. That answer to your question. So
okay. So tell me this: you joined another agency in 2019 to 2020.
No, so after
Yeah.
I worked there for a year.
Yeah.
Internship for like 6 months. Wanted to become full time.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
Wanted to get a visa, basically. I was on my dad's company visa and I was working there as an intern. And after that, I got another job. It was at, it was a, could I say, co-working space actually. We were called Urban Studio. And it was a startup. So the idea was, and it was based in D3, Dubai Design District. And the idea was that there could be a lot of these, digital nomads or freelancers, upcoming entrepreneurs. They could come there, book a space, collaborate and all that. You could hold events, workshops there. It was a really cool space. It was built for creativity and networking. And I got a job there as a UX designer. So that was my first proper role. So I think that was really nice because I got to help them set up their website, their booking process, even the whole journey of how a user would enter the space, navigate through the space. So we sort of did, it's called wayfinding design or whatever. I think wayfinding. Yeah, you can call it wayfinding, where like you have these arrows set up if you go to malls and stuff. So we sort of designed that, let's say, the illustrations for the space where like users can come and see where exactly to go, and then once they go towards the end, there'd be like a booklet which I designed as well. So these are all like small touch points of a user journey which I had to design, and then obviously once they get the booklet, they see what's everything about the space. There's a QR code which then leads them to the website. So that's also something I had to design. But actually that role was pretty diverse because I wasn't only doing UX design, I was doing, again, graphic design. So designing a booklet falls under graphic design, not really UX. So it was pretty diverse, in fact. And over there I got to learn a lot because previously I was part of teams, like teams of 4 or 5 designers. Over here I was on my own.
Okay.
So it was pretty challenging as well because my manager had given me responsibilities to even look at production. So the booklets that were being printed, I had to go literally at the factory or the printing press and sit there with them and sort of just see the print quality. it would be hot in the factory,
Yeah.
sweating. But yeah, that was a bit of a grind. I think working there really sort of helped me become more proactive.
Yeah.
Because sometimes just sitting at a desk, it can be a little, I guess, can be mundane.
Yeah.
So that was nice that I could go out of the office, talk to people, and stuff. But yeah, that was, I think I worked there for 1 year, and after that, I think we made the website, and then they were going to build an app which was going to be really cool, where you could basically, the idea was to make like a LinkedIn for designers, especially designers, plus hybrid, or you could call it, a hybrid app where you could also book the co-working space as well. That was, I think, we worked on that for a few months, like 3 or 4 months, and it didn't go under development. Like, I found a developer for it as well. He's a good friend of mine, but then it didn't go under development, and after that, I think I just got another opportunity.
Yeah.
So I left after a year.
Okay. So you spoke about like being proactive.
Yeah.
A couple of years, COVID comes, everyone's working from home.
Yeah.
What was the difference between working from home and then being at the office for you?
Yeah, actually, so I guess I can talk about my next workplace where I joined, which was digital marketing technology company.
Yeah, wait, this needs a drum roll.
Yeah, honestly, massive shout out to, because that's where like we all met, and we could even give sort of some credit to this podcast being, because if you wouldn't have met this podcast wouldn't it wouldn't have been there. So yeah, that's true. But yeah, when it comes to COVID, it was fine, I think. So what was the question again?
The difference between you staying at a workplace and being proactive, and when it comes to work from home, everything's closed. How was it different? Like, or did that make you like no one has worked from home before? The concept wasn't there. So that happens. How did it affect you in your career? Like, you realize, I could do the same work at home. I don't need to go to an office space. Or for you, a person who wants to be surrounded by people or your work colleagues.
I think So remote working really made me realize that, as designers at least, that you can get work done, be efficient, if you're completely like remote, like not going to the office and stuff. It was a bit challenging, obviously, in terms of speaking to people, or like that physical sort of interaction that you have with your colleagues. But work-wise, I didn't really face an issue personally. Maybe I'll be honest, because in terms of like organization, like being organized and stuff, I'm a bit weak in that aspect. So initially, then when you have a bit of leeway in terms of waking up and stuff. So for example, when you go into office, you have to wake up at 8 a.m. and like brush your teeth, get in the car and all that. When it comes to like remote working, I think that sort of whole thing went away. So I was waking up exactly at 9 or whatever, not brushing my teeth, not having my meal, just getting on the laptop. And I think one maybe con of that was like I didn't know when to stop working as well. So I would continue till like after 6, sometimes 8, sometimes 9, which sort of maybe wasn't nice as well. So I learned a few things, like in terms of maybe convenience, it's nice, you don't have to commute to the office. You're efficient in that sense, you can start work right away. But I think if you're not organized with your time, like time management basically, then I think it can be a little bit challenging for you, because you won't know when to stop, or even in terms of starting, no one's really going to ask you, hey, are you there and stuff. Whereas when you have to reach work, you're a bit more accountable, a bit more organized. And I think a couple of things like Slack, Zoom, these tools are really key to remote working. Even as designers, we use Figma, so you can basically comment, collaborate within the Figma file. So as designers, like, we're all connected in that sense. So these sort of tools really help communication like get better and stuff. So it was nice.
But that's all right. So this is the good side. but it's also the negative side, because you don't know until when you're working. There have been times, it's not just you, everyone, like, we have been working around till 12 o'clock midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We have been just working. There is no limit to when we stop working. So there is also a negative side to it. Also, one of the negative sides that we can talk about is that, I don't know if it's a negative side for you, maybe you're more focused. You're more focused when you're alone, when you're working alone, when you're on your platform. But don't you think that, like, it was missing a human connection? Like, you're all alone inside a room by yourself working, which is fine. Maybe you're more productive that way. But weren't you missing a human connection?
I'm guessing you were not a fan of work from home.
I wasn't. I literally had to ask friends to let me stay with them. And I stayed with them during COVID, so.
No, actually you're right. In that sense, when it comes outside of work, maybe the loneliness part. Just being, confined in one space, in your room. And actually, at that time it was a lockdown and stuff, so we couldn't go out. That was a bit tough. Couldn't go to the gym as much, obviously. Gained a little bit of weight, eating whatever. So, life was a bit difficult in that sense. But for me, actually, the good thing was my family was here at that time. They, although like most of the time during, I think, certain phase of my life, they were in Pakistan. But during COVID, they thankfully came over. So family was there, so it wasn't as bad, at least for me. But I can understand there's a lot of people here in Dubai who are like single bachelors, by themselves. So for them, especially, it must have been a really depressing time, I guess. So I guess it's different for everyone.
Everyone's to each their own. Like when I was living alone. And honestly, at the time, I was like, what is happening? But I spent 18, 16 hours playing video games, playing Call of Duty, playing FIFA.
Man, that was the best time. Remember, we used to play Catan online.
Yes.
We used to play FIFA. What was it? Co-ops? No. Forgot the...
Pro Clubs.
Pro Clubs, man. That was the best time, because I remember right after work, we just give each other a call. Be like, hey, let's get on Pro Clubs. Even Vishal, you were there, right? So that was some good times.
And I felt like that created a different environment, a different like connection with everyone, because you're not in that work setting anymore. Like, what do? You call your friends, you hit up online, you're playing game. People who didn't game also started gaming.
That's true, actually.
And like, you saw a different side of everyone.
That's
especially
true.
You miss a goal on FIFA, everyone's gonna just yell at you.
There was a few people who really yelled at me. So. Won't mention the names, but
we'll invite them to the podcast next. Don't worry. You don't have to take their names.
Sounds good, man.
So, like, you grew up in Dubai. You spent most of your life. Have you ever thought of leaving Dubai, like leaving this part of the region?
Okay, so a lot of people have told me, like, man, what are you doing in Dubai? Like, just leave, just go, like. But for me personally, like, I love Dubai. Because number one, I grew up here. Have all my friends. Used to just the lifestyle here as well. And other than that, like, I didn't have this fascination like that I need to get out or travel and all that. You guys know I'm not a big. Although I wouldn't mind going to new countries and stuff, but I'm not really big of a traveler. So. Just combining all of those things, and I think maybe career-wise as well, things are going well, alhamdulillah. So I didn't really feel the need to sort of leave Dubai. But you never know what the future holds. Maybe there'll be an opportunity or something. But for now, I'm really happy, like, where I am in Dubai as a citizen. I think the lifestyle here is good. Being a Muslim, like, it's a Muslim country, so that's also a really nice thing. Attached to your roots, sort of, kind of close to Pakistan, which is nice. The weather is good, it's sunny, although it gets a bit hot in summer. But I think these are all factors that doesn't make me want to move somewhere else, to like US, Australia, Canada. And maybe the tax-free thing as well. That's also really good. That's a big part.
but from your perspective, what's holding you back? You said
what
one
comfort zone.
Yes,
I'm in my comfort zone here.
Yeah.
Which I think, okay, so my perspective is being in your comfort zone isn't really a bad thing.
Right.
Like, as long as you're, whatever within your boundaries you wanted to achieve, or let's say you're there. Obviously, I'm not saying don't grow, but like make sure that, okay, your comfort zone is also there. That's what I believe in personally. But again, like, there's nothing holding me back. Like, it's just that I have family here. I think we're settled in. So looking at those factors, I'm a bit more, let's say, comfortable staying here in Dubai. Your point of, higher paying jobs in US and stuff, that's a very valid point. But then for me, I look at it like, okay, if I go there, I have this high paying job. What if I'm not enjoying it?
Right.
That's the main thing for me. So I think it's not just about chasing that number or the high salary. You got to combine a lot of factors in. The expenses probably might be different, which I know for sure it'll be higher. The taxation and stuff. Obviously, then there are pros and cons that you have to weigh out. So for me personally, right now, based on what I've, let's say, analyzed, okay, US versus Dubai or Canada versus Dubai. For me personally, Dubai makes a little bit more sense. But maybe in the future, as you said, that doesn't mean that I won't pursue an opportunity in the US if something comes. If something comes that makes sense and it's a time where I personally feel, okay, it's time to leave, then I'll think about it. But at the moment, Dubai is my place. So
tell me this: what is your worst experience and your best experience in your career so far, if there is any?
Worst experience was that one day that I had, like, where I got into the Photoshop file and spent the whole day. But that wasn't really bad.
At that moment, you felt like that was.
At that moment, I felt like, okay, it was pretty bad. I think worst experience, there weren't many, which is a good thing, I guess. I think, so my second job, where they had a different direction and stuff, they were going to hire someone else, and someone else came in, then I faced a salary deduction as well for like a good amount of time. And to begin with, I wasn't earning that high as well. So, and at that time, I think my dad was sort of closing out his business as well. So financially, things were really tough. I was sort of sole earner at that time for that brief moment. And I think, that was sort of a time which I would say was really tough. And I think I joined right after. From there, things got better, for sure. But within it can as well, like, I guess there were a lot of challenging times within the 5 years I worked there. There were 2 designers, and then I remember, like, one of the designers left. But that was a good challenging part, actually. It was a good way, because I was the only designer again, and was, I think, from 2018 to 2019, they were growing really fast. The company was scaling like pretty fast, like started hiring like crazy and stuff. And just a moment before that, like, we were a small team before the hiring started and stuff. So I was the only designer, and I remember we'd work from like morning, 9 a.m. I'd actually go to the office at 9 a.m. stay there till like 8, 5 days a week. It was a grind because they started out small with, like, I think at that time when I joined there were like 20 people. So just that whole constant, because I take the metro, I remember. That was a tough part. Taking the metro from Sharjah, Dubai, till Sharjah Dubai border till Business Bay, and then going back home, that commuting, plus the long hours of work, clients, messages from the account managers. So that was really a tough part mentally on my head, like 2018, 2019. But then that was good, because I think that was a part where, like,
that was a key learning experience you needed.
That was a key learning experience, man, because I didn't experience that volume of work anywhere else. Which working in an agency, guys, like, that's a really good thing, like, you get to experience, is that you get to work on a diverse set of things. Whereas product focused, you're just focused on one aspect of the product. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Is there any regret you have, like, you know what, I wish I'd done this, or something you want to do something differently, things would have been different, or you're just like, you know what, everything happened for a reason and I'm okay with where I am?
Regret that I had. Obviously, when I didn't get into architecture and stuff, I was a bit like thinking, I was in that phase of, man, like, where am I going to get into? But I think a missed opportunity that I can think of, it's tough. Like, I'm someone who, like, was very content, as I said, like, whatever I got. Yeah. So I never felt that way.
But
there was a missed opportunity or something that I could have got. Because I think another thing was, like, any opportunity that I got, which was either work, freelance, which I think is very key, like, just always chase that and go for it. So I pursued every opportunity, and if things didn't work out, obviously
happened for a reason.
That happens for a reason. So whether it was applying for a job, whether it was a client coming, or like someone asking for freelance work, I always took on that opportunity and went with the sort of mindset that okay, I'm going to get this client, or I'm going to get that job. You have no idea, I applied for like probably so many companies where I didn't get into. Obviously, I was at a stage where I'm just about to
just quitting. I'm
almost there. Just in the last phase of that interview process, and it doesn't work out. So I think, but then my whole mindset was, okay, just got to keep trying. Something's gonna click. So I think that sort of mindset is really good to have. And if something doesn't come your way, then obviously my belief is that something better that's going to come in the future. So and that didn't happen for a reason. So that's about it. That's how I feel about this question. I don't know if I answered it right or wrong.
But I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, right?
There's no right or wrong.
Perspective.
There's no right and wrong. Look at you. You are in a better place.
Maybe.
Okay. I'll ask you a few rapid fire questions. Not, it could be professional, it could be just anything, just to get to know you better.
Football related stuff.
Maybe.
Messi or Ronaldo.
Could be. You know what? Messi or Ronaldo.
Honestly, this is a tough one now, because if you look at both their careers, Messi, obviously, he was a golden boy. Started at Barcelona and stuff. Started with Ronaldinho, Eto'o. Ronaldo, Sporting FC. Like, worked his way up to get into Man United and stuff.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo, obviously. Ronaldo, I'm talking about him. So I personally feel that Messi was really part of that one club. That structure was built around him. Whereas Ronaldo has been that player where he had to go, adapt, which I think as normal people we'd all admire. It's more relatable that way, right? Messi was just given everything in that way as a club.
That would be a very controversial statement, that he was there doing everything.
But I think, personally, I would pick Ronaldo over Messi, just in terms of the sheer amount of goals he's scored, obviously, the trophies he's won. He's been a clutch player over time, and just the style of play. I prefer Ronaldo's over Messi's. But I respect Messi as a player, obviously. Messi fans, don't kill me for that statement. I hope. Come out alive after this podcast.
Hopefully. So, favorite food?
Food? Oh man.
I know you love to eat.
I love to eat food. Seafood, man. Seafood and you eat it. That's what I believe in. So any kind of food.
That you see?
That I see, I eat it. I love, but traditional, when it comes to traditional, I love biryani. Good old biryani, chicken biryani. When it comes to, like, I don't know, apart from traditional, there's a lot, like pasta, I don't know. Sometimes I even love grilled chicken, in fact. Grilled chicken, rice. A good grilled chicken and rice is a meal I enjoy. Steaks is also something.
I think you just love everything.
I love everything. There's no like one food.
Okay, what's the least favorite thing that, you know what, I wouldn't eat that?
Honestly, I don't have anything that's the least favorite. Even the least favorite thing, I'll just eat it and enjoy it. I think it's just all about that experience of eating food. And I'm open to every kind of food, so except like pig and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I'm open to all kinds of food. So I enjoy eating, man. That's about it. Like donuts, pizza, burgers. You name it. You name it.
Talking about chicken biryanis, which country? Because you might have eaten a lot of chicken biryanis from different places. Chicken biryanis in Pakistan. Maybe Karachi has its own chicken biryani. But which chicken biryani is the best?
Like, what are you trying to say? Indian or
Indian, and Pakistani? You can mention the city as well if you want.
Alright. I think I'll mention it, man. Since you're really insisting, Hyderabadi biryani is the best.
Yes, that's all I wanted to hear.
Hyderabadi biryani is the best, man. Like, no, seriously, I've tried it. Like, I have a few other Hyderabadi friends who like introduced me to it, and I really love it. Like, the taste is good. So Hyderabad is a city known for good food as well.
Yes, it
has that reputation, right?
Yes, it is.
So halim, biryani, those things are like top notch over there.
That's all. So we're going to cut this. We are going to put it in the reels. That Hyderabadi biryani is the best biryani.
Just gotta promote Hyderabad.
Promote Hyderabad.
Seriously,
Yes,
seriously. That's it, man.
Even if the Hyderabadi government is willing to pay us, definitely. But
they better sponsor this podcast after this.
Why not?
Why not?
Wait, I think last one. Apart from me, who has been your favorite colleague?
Ooh, damn, man. Should I?
Take name. One name.
Pick names?
Yeah, one name.
Colleague or friend or work colleague?
Work colleague.
Man, I don't want to pick one though. There's so many.
There's a 5'11" guy sitting wearing a white shirt.
You
beige pants right in front of
me. Be diplomatic, I'd say you.
Oh, diplomatic.
That's a good answer.
That's very bad answer, man. I'm very disappointed at you. I'm very disappointed at you, man.
But I think each company, each year, there's been key people in my life, so I can't put it solely on one person, right? I think university time, one of my friends, you won't know him, his name's Ammar. He's like a lead designer right now. And we both started off our journey as UX designers. So I would say he's been one of key people in my life when it comes to UX career and stuff, or as a colleague, you could say. I consider him a colleague as well. In fact, my mentor, because I learned a lot from him. So that's one person who, I would say, when it comes to work side of things, I consider him one of important, special people in my life. When it comes to fun and stuff, obviously you two guys, you guys are really, fun to have. And there's a lot of people who came but you guys aren't colleagues, man. You guys are friends now. So
I'm glad we.
You leveled up now, man. I don't consider you guys colleagues.
We feel honored.
Yeah.
We feel honored.
Exactly.
So, last one. Who has been your biggest inspiration?
Who has been my biggest inspiration? Me, man. Just kidding. Okay, when we were young, we were discussing Messi, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo has been one of those guys when it comes to. Obviously, the hard work was something that I always admired about him, but I think just the aura he had about him when he'd walk onto the pitch and all that. That generation got inspired by him. We try to emulate him. Whatever he did, the new shoes he'd get, the new hairstyle. So growing up, it was Cristiano, who was someone who I really admired. And I think even now, it's always been him for me personally, because
he gives it his all. 100%.
Yeah, he gives it his all. Just the way he carries himself. He has a family, which is that's also something I admire. A successful guy, and just ideal, to be honest. So
got you.
Yeah, I'm a Ronaldo fan, but it's really something that there are qualities about him that I admire. So. I'd say he'd be one of those inspirational guys.
I know this was supposed to be a rapid fire question, but I love how you are so diplomatic and defensive in giving answers. It's covering all bases. I love that. I love that about
Thank
you.
you. I'll try to be rapid as well with my answers. Sorry.
No.
I have a couple of questions for you.
Go on.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions for you. Knowing that you're from I would say a core subject, UI/UX is a core subject for you. So, if you were asked to choose between, because we have worked together and I've seen you in leadership roles as well, right? So you would want to work as more of a technical specialist in the UI/UX role, or if they ask you to lead a team, what would you choose? If you were given two choices.
Me personally, I've gone to both roles.
Right.
So I've been a specialist in design, and I've gotten the opportunity to become a lead in everything. I think it really depends. So person to person, if you're someone who prefers being a specialist or becoming an expert in that field, that's not a bad thing as well. Obviously, if you're trying to go into leadership, that's not a bad thing. So everyone has different traits that they're really strong at, and based on that, I think people make decisions.
Yeah.
So if you're a people person, plus you have a little bit of technical skills, or you're a bit specialized in it, then you can go into the leadership role, vice versa. But I don't know. There's no right or wrong answer. I like to switch across things. So as I told you, or as you guys know right now, that I moved into more of a specialist role, not leading a team and stuff, whereas right now I was leading. So it really depends on how you want to sort of progress with your career.
So I would take it this way, maybe both roles are fine for you, but as much as you don't deviate from the core, from the technical aspect of
obviously you gotta, I would say, I would put more emphasis on this fact that you need to be whatever your core is. So for example, for me in UX UI, whether I go into leadership, whether I become a specialist, you always need to be knowledgeable, that's for sure, right? So you gotta know the basic design principles and everything. But then it just depends on how you want your career to go. There's a lot of factors as well. So opportunity that came for me at that time, it just felt like the right time to sort of shift to this, because it's a bigger product, and I'll get to learn a lot of things. Obviously then I sacrificed my lead role, which was people say you're kind of sort of downgrading, but me personally I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, because you're getting something new to learn from that new experience, right? So, and at the end of the day, it's still that core that I have always been doing, so it doesn't really make a difference. That's it. Apart from that, I'm open to both sides of the role. So.
And what's your advice to those who have just got out of university?
Look, I'm no expert at this.
Yeah.
But I would.
No, just as a senior person who has just so much of experience in this field now.
Yeah.
7 years is is good.
Yeah, it's a good amount, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good amount. So, what's your advice? Who've just passed out from the university regarding their careers, jobs, and everything?
Yeah, I would say start with freelancing, or if you can during your university. That's really good, actually. For designers, start building your portfolio first, website. That's really helpful, because you sort of, then when you have your website, you know that there's people going to be looking at it, and then you'll be in that constant phase of, okay, I need to improve my portfolio, which then leads to you trying to iterate more designs, which then leads to you becoming maybe a better designer. So I think working on portfolio is very key as new graduates or even university students who are pursuing design. After that, as I said, freelancing is something that students can do. There's a lot of websites, Upwork, even word of mouth. Even in university, you might find a lot of friends, you can network with them. They might have a business card that they might want to design, or they might have a website that they might want to design. So you can find opportunities within the university as well. And then you gather all this breadth of experience, which really helps when you're applying for your new job or your first job. So obviously the way to crack into the Dubai job market is, for designers at least, start off with an internship. Normally sometimes you do get full-time as well, but most of the times you start off with an internship and really just grind your first year out, try to develop your skills and just prove yourself within the, let's say, your first job, first company, make a mark. And then I guess, you sort of start moving on further from there, because for designers, the main thing, as I mentioned every time, is your portfolio. Like even me, whatever job that I've got, obviously your interview process, your communication skills and all that matters, but your work is like the main thing. So if you have a good portfolio, obviously good CV as well, these things really count. Nowadays, obviously LinkedIn is also something that you can leverage. A lot of people start posting about their field and stuff, so which I think I need to start doing, maybe. But that is also a good direction to have, actually. Start networking aggressively on LinkedIn. Start making your own sort of profile or grow that, start posting, because that can really catch a lot of recruiters' eyes. So yeah, now I think there's multiple avenues, ways of sort of getting into the job market, and a lot of startups are coming here, a lot of product companies are here, like Talabat, Kareem, all the banks here in Dubai, so agencies as well. So I think that the market here is pretty good for newcomers, and yeah, good luck to everyone, I guess.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, I don't want to keep you for longer. I think this was a good start. I mean, you did pretty well, and thank you for coming.
Start. Yeah, I'll try to get better at this, actually.
Honestly, I don't think you need to. I think you're natural.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we can call him for one more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Even another guest.
Will you be our guest again?
I'll see, man. If I'm paid next time, yeah, sure.
You're getting paid now.
Yeah. We'll sell that.
Water and tea and
lunch as well, maybe.
Lunch as well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Come on. We're saying Hyderabadi biryani, so we should order that.
Sure, why not?
Well, anyways, Osama, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be on the podcast, and hopefully I'll get another invite.
See, that's here. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you in the next episode.